See me, yeah, I've always been a fan of buses for being big and having the features that they do, yeah. And obviously at the time where I first started liking buses, obviously it was just diesels and hybrids about in it. But then electric slowly crept in, and I find it easy to not acknowledge new things and hold on to old stuff all the time, you know. But once you get past that mindset of, oh, it's a new thing, it's not gonna hit the same. Because a lot of people, yeah, they look at anything new, yeah, and you'll find this typically amongst vehicle enthusiasts and that. They'll see anything new and they'll immediately label it as boring, and just brush it off and just ignore every element it's got to it. It could even be similar to the older version of that vehicle, but just because it's new, they'll brush it off as boring. But, you know, a lot of people are like that in the bus fetching community, where you have all the bus enthusiast wankers and that. I'm one myself, you know. A lot of us, brush off the electrics in a negative light. But I realize, yeah, why the fuck am I hating these for? Just because they're a bit quieter than the usual shits. And as I've like taken more and more journeys on these, look, yeah, I've started to realize how much actually better quality they are than the older shit we've all been gassing, bro. All the Boss enthusiasts have been gassing. They're a lot better, they're a lot smoother, they come sleeker, they sound more musical, they sound like they got more tune to them. They don't sound like a unpleasant, large box on wheels. They just feel clean, you know. And I always noticed that clean spirit from electrics, taking us all the way back to the first time I actually encountered them. They just have this clean vibe. They're not overly noisy. They have noise, but they're not over the top with it. And I like them for that. Because buses, they're big already, man. They're noticeable already. There's no need for them to be shouting down the street. They're just annoying at that point. Buses are big already. They don't need that much noise to them. But I'll tell you one thing though. I always noticed from the judging back to the first time I encountered the electric bus, I always noticed there's that specific pure clean vibe they have on them that all the fucking engine buses don't have. Like there's just this scruffy, like old vibe, no matter the age, that you will always feel on any bus with an engine. There's just something about bus engines that just ruins the vibe on buses. I've come to the realization it just makes them feel, more sluggish and more, more long to ride, more long to be around. Like, what the fuck is that noise? All I'm hearing is clatter. I don't hear no tune in that until the engine comes off, and then you hear all the peaceful fans, you hear all the electronics. That sounds nice. But as soon as that engine comes on, it ruins it. Bus engines are not that. They're not that good. I'll be real. I've come to the realization of that. Bus engines are not that good. And it took me a while to get to this. Because I'm a guy, yeah, where I literally was like making every single sound, yeah, of bus engines on games. So I've studied their sounds really well. And I've just realized it's mainly just clatter, 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 loads of obnoxious low bass noises clashing together, especially when the bus hits idle. These buses, yeah, these engine buses, when they hit idle, bro, it's like you're on a hell, like it's like you're taking a ride to hell, bro. It sounds demonic, bro, and not in a good way.